Today, Gaming America is speaking to Thomas Rosander, the CEO of Real Luck Group, which is the parent company of Luckbox. We're going to be talking about his company's role in esports betting, as well as their anticipated launch in Ontario next month. Mr. Rosander, thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Indeed. My first question is actually more of a personal one. I would like to know sort of about your career and how you wound up at the role at which you currently are at Luckbox, or Real Luck Group.
Yeah, so besides some management consulting right in the beginning of, right after university, I have been on the iGaming site or iGaming side for various online gambling companies, and started off with online poker basically. But I've also been on the video gaming side, and I was a marketing director for Electronic Arts. And I think I have always known that sooner or later these two are gonna meet at some point, and now it is happening with esports. And especially with this situation that we have now with Luck, it's like my whole career led up to this basically, and because esports and Luckbox is right in the middle between iGaming and video gaming, and like my whole career I've had a lot of ideas how you can combine these two, and now it's actually happening. So it's like I don't know, it's the peak of my career, I guess. This is the one.
Well, it's nice to get there, I suppose, after many years of toil and labor.
Yes, hard work.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask about esports. I read somewhere that you consider that esports betting is going to be a larger market than traditional sports betting, which I think some would say is a controversial stance. I was wondering if you stand by that, and if so, what conditions would have to fall into place for that to be the case?
Yeah, so I think it's completely inevitable that that will happen, and that is based on the fact that video gaming is enormous already. There are 3 billion, or 1/3 of the population on Earth are gamers. Everybody has their cell phone game or whatever, and that is just growing. And if you look around, what people do is, even you don't have to look at kids. Even if you look at the new digital generations, younger millennials or Gen Z, what they do is they play video game or they watch video games. Yeah, they still play sports too, regular sports, but as soon as they leave the practice or the match, they go home and they play video games again. Mm-hmm. And this is what we are watching right now, is a shift in how mankind consumes entertainment that never has happened before. So there is a reason why Netflix and Apple and all the big traditional sports clubs and brands are starting esports team and wanting to get into this space. And that is because they know that the future generation, this is what they will do. And based on that, that's why I'm so certain that this is going to happen. It's going to take a while. We're still in the beginning, but it is moving fast. So it will happen. And I think what's going to make the real leap, and what's missing right now, is the fact that the betting offers are not quite there yet. But the big thing is that the betting products that are offered up until this point, also for esports, are just a version of a paper slip, basically. And if you go on most of the sports betting sites, they look the same. You have a list with matches, and then you have odds next to it. It's like an Excel sheet. And if you think of this new generation, they play video games. They play video games. They used to get engaged. They use TikTok. Even YouTube is too slow for them. So it has to give them that kick. So what is going to make the difference in my mind, is a betting product that really speaks to them and has that engagement and that velocity. When that happens, it will definitely disrupt things, and it's going to be clear that this is what's happening. That's what I think.
Yeah, sure. Do you have any predictive timeline on when that might happen?
Yeah, I would. I think we are looking at much faster than people think. Some say 5 to 10. I think we're gonna really start realizing that this is happening in 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I know that we, for one, we are of course building this disruptive, innovative product that's going to change it, and we're hoping to launch it already this year. So, but things take time to get traction as well, and I think, I don't know, 3 years or maybe a little bit faster would be my guess.
Sure. And speaking about launching products, I believe it was last autumn you launched an iCasino, and I was wondering, in what markets is this operational, and what about it is distinctive from the competition?
Yes, so we are live in a lot of all the markets where you can operate with an international license. So we have a premium international license in the Isle of Man, and that opens up for around 80 different countries across the world. So we're going for pretty much all of them. Of course, some are better than others, but we are also going into Canada, and I think you're going to have more questions about that. So of course, our online casino is going to be there as well. What is important to know about our online casino is that it's not fair to say that it's a support business, but it's not our core business. Mm-hmm. And I have had huge successes building online casinos in the past, and we are doing it also with the new generation and the more fast-paced video gamey kind of style on that as well. But we really think that it will be our main revenue driver until what we were talking about before, this change happens. So for us, we love casino, and we love to do them as well. But what's gonna make become really fun, and as I said, like what I've been waiting for, is the esports thing. So the casino definitely plays a role, but the main role there is to increase our runway until the disruption happens, basically.
I see. At this moment in time, what would you say are the biggest markets for you, for Real Luck Group?
So we are very focused on LATAM, and especially Brazil is doing well. Europe and Scandinavia, so Finland and Norway, are doing really fine as well. But we are, of course, looking at the expansion on all the continents almost. So Asia is very interesting. Africa is coming as well, and then of course, we're going into Canada. We're getting a license, and then we have US as well. All of these are we're an international brand, so we're going to try to be everywhere we can, and we have a number of regulated markets that we're going into, of course, starting with Canada. But I think the whole world is regulating, and that is something that we have to go along with as well.
Mm-hmm. And so you're going to go live in Ontario on April 4th. Would you say Canada is going to become a major pillar of the company from here on in? Are you putting a lot on this move into Canada? It's another way of asking the question, I suppose.
Yes, I mean, we are a Canadian company, so it is home. And of course, we're going to do everything we can to really try to take a market share there. We have a very solid growth strategy already in place. How we're going to do that, of course, driven mainly by online casino to start with. But what I see is that Canada is also really strong when it comes to esports, and we see a lot of potential, basically. And yeah.
So where do you hope? I mean, what do you see as the major? Where do you hope to be in Canada, like in a year from now? And how are you? Second part of that question is what is your strategy for growing your market share in Canada? I mean, you don't need to give away too much, but.
Yeah, so I think Deloitte said that it's I think it's about 500 million market now, and they're expecting it to grow to some 28 billion or something in 2026. And of course, we want to be part of that. And if you look that far into the future, then esports betting will have picked up substantially. And since our strategy is to have the best esports betting offer that exists, together with a product that speaks to the new generation, I really hope that we can have a big part of that. And that means that where I want us to be is to be the number one esports betting destination, which is our vision and all that we're aiming for. And considering where we are right now and the strategy and the fact that their esports really is brewing in Canada now, I think it's totally doable.
But at the outset, it's going to be iCasino and sports betting. And I suppose my question is, are you going to try to learn from these two different facets of the industry to help create your esports brand? Is there going to be a combination of traditional sports betting and iCasino, or is it a completely different approach?
Yes and no. I think that the new generation, you have to speak to them in a different way. People will always love, online casino independently, and it is very spread around in all the ages. But the esports players, you have to talk to them in a different way for them to get attracted about it. They are kind of they're a little bit skeptic to the big betting brands and so on. So because of bonuses, and it's too much in your face, if you put it like that. So we will have a little bit different approach when it comes to branding and how we speak to potential esports players, while we towards traditional sports bettors and iCasino players, we will do everything that we learned over the years. So like we have an amazing team that have experience of launching these things across the world many times over, done it very successfully. So we will of course use all that knowledge that we have in house and from myself as well. So yeah.
Well, so I suppose you're talking about marketing right now, and marketing to a younger generation. I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit on that. What does marketing to a Generation Z? What does that look like, briefly?
That is a very difficult question to ask, but as I said, you have to change it a little bit so that you speak to them in their language, and you cannot come with a big offer, big bonus offer or some kind of incentives. And for Canada, that's the rule now is that you can't do that directly to players. So that fits very well with our strategy and that tone of voice. They consume a lot of content, much more than any generation before them. So it's very important to really provide value besides the actual betting product. They really have to find a way and identify with other products that you provide. Might be calendars or other tools that they can use for what they like. And I think one way, the interesting thing is that there is a lot of betting going on esports already. It's just that it is unregulated and it's happening on skin betting sites and crypto sites and so on, and it's massive. It's just that it's tweaked in a way so it really fits this generation, and that is something that we're looking very much at utilizing as well. But of course, our benefit would be that we are going to be a regulated company. We're a big listed company, meaning that what we can offer that those sites don't have is the safety for the player, both in terms of responsibility toward their gaming habits, as well as making sure their money is safe at all times.
Yeah. Just wrapping it up, I always sort of finish on this question, but where would you like to see Real Luck Group in Canada in 18 months?
Yeah, so the number one esports betting destination is the first thing. And the other one, that we will have launched some interesting esports betting products that nobody has seen before. And hopefully they will be growing very quickly and showing how the future of esports betting and potentially traditional sports betting will look as well.
Cool. Well, Mr. Rosander, thank you very much for sitting down with us today. Much appreciated.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks.